So let's get started from Blender. Um, this is actually my shot, and as you can see, I split the scene into three separate layers. I started from this unique scene and then starting, copying, and pasting every layer. So we just need to enable the render path for each render layer to could rebuild the shader from the actual viewport and the render. So once we have set up the render layer, we need to export the render path, the AOVs, to could enhance our performance and customizing the shaders we create into 3D. So for example, the walking or the most of the elements of this scene, we will gonna make export for diffuse all the first three, the direct, indirect, and color. The same for the gloss or specular. Transmission, I don't need. Volume, we don't need. And into other, the emission, the ambient, and the ambient occlusion. And finally, this the most important one to could perform grading mask operation, modification about texturing, and a lot of via cryptomat, very important. So make sure we enable those elements, and denoising data, it's very important. By the way, if you are using optics, where is it? Okay, optics should not probably need, but if you already or still using the old denoiser method system with OpenImage denoid, you should probably need the denoising data to could enhance and enable turn on the denoising from live compositing tab into Nuke. So let's take a look on what we have here. So I already made this pass. Let me redo from scratch. Okay, so let me launch a render just to make sure show you how it works and take a closer dip. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, okay. So you can see into the compositing tab. When we are into the node tab, you could see into properties panel where the various layer, and you could see for each layer we have own path enabled. Walk has different paths for fog, and for walking the whole walk is old. Do not It's not important. Let's take a look on this walking, okay, and forest. Okay, let me show you the same here. As you can see, walking, we do not have anything enabled, just for cryptomat. If I detach, okay, I think uh, it's more comprehensible, just like here. So I think could be more easier uh, looking how it works from the live checking box. So for this case, the walking, as I previously said, we want to make sure we will export all these paths science, diffuse, direct, indirect color. The same for gloss. We don't need transmission. We need the emission, environment, ambient occlusion, and the three crypto maps. So now we want to make sure we exported it's with a proper name into a proper path. So make sure enhancing this. Let's find the node. Let me show. Opening. Let's open the node editor and let's find. I have Blender in Italian, but you could write type output file, and we will find that output file. Okay, for me it's uscita file, but for you should be output file. So we have these layers. Okay, this is the path, format, depth, and other stuff. We will take a look. So make sure to enhance the 32-bit performance. By the way, this will export in 16-bit, and with the EXR we need, otherwise it will not make sense to export the 32-bit just to have more pixels into images to could enhance. To could perform our customization, and let's starting adding for each input layer our output. So let's starting. I do not need the depth, by the way. We could use the alpha as depth, or we could at least, okay, we will export, but red channel works a bit as the same towards these two passes. We will take a look on Nuke next. Diffuse. And we get that. So let's starting attaching each one element. The open image to could enhance the denoise. For me it's noise reduction, but for you should be denoise. We'll take the input node's name should be the albedo, normal, and images, but as you can see, we already have two of those into prefix denoising. So column and there, but the images come from the original output as RGB and go out there. So we have all render layer performed and ready to could be export. Make sure I forgot the alpha, go above under images. You could rename this RGBA or color, main color, but image, it's fine. Okay. Now, if you put render, before make sure we set up the output. So make sure we find where we want to export our render, and let's send the render. So one of the most important stuff is to set the project when we open a new sim file. So For example, in my case, I have the render into this big folder. I will select just the big folder, and then I will do script director. Let me with R will open a new read file, and I will take, these are all the render layers I exported. Sorry. In this case, I will take walk, star, forest, fog. Okay.